everyone, we're back.
Hi.
So I do want to hit on a topic because my phone has been going off the hook a little bit. It's all over the news.
Right.
And you have more of the details than I do. So I would like you to explain what our beautiful government, and I say that in quotes, but what our government is doing to us now, what challenges we have. Because there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Correct.
And this whole, I don't know, the clients that have reached out to me, they feel like they're being penalized for having really good credit.
Correct.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I
so
do.
I'm going to let you take this one.
I do. So obviously, on the news it says Biden has, raised taxes or raised the cost for good credit borrowers. And it is actually true. So basically what it is the FHFA is what regulates Fannie and Freddie. And they are the ones that determine the LLPAs, which are the loan level price adjustments on each type of loan. And basically it's the cost of credit, right? And it's always been that good credit people get the lowest cost, and then the people that have poor credit pay more. And so basically what he's trying to do or the government is trying to do is bridge that gap for home ownership. They want people to have more of an opportunity to own homes. And, that is a worthy cause, right? We do need, more people to own homes. It's not, it's kind of like a tax, basically, is what it is. The good credit clients are going to be paying 1% more than they would have for that particular interest rate, okay? And then the clients that are either putting less down or have poorer credit, they are paying 1.75% less than they would have prior. So they're trying to bridge that gap. I know it sounds a little confusing. You're never going to see a scenario where a poor credit client and a good credit client are getting the same rate. It's more about the cost of what that rate is going to look like. Good credit clients are still going to get great rates. The poor clients or the poor credit clients, they're not going to get as good of a rate as those better quality clients. And it's all based on risk, right? So, they need to base those loans on credit score, and it's all based on risk. So it is true, that you are going to be paying a little bit more, but it's not going to disqualify you from buying a house. Or should you sit back if you're, planning on buying a house if you've got good credit? You don't want to sit this out because, again, like we talked about, yesterday was the best time to buy a house. So now you're just paying a little bit of a tax to bridge that gap between the homeowners that, or the people that haven't been able to own a home before. So it is true. It actually says it's gone into effect on May 1st, but we've actually been dealing with it for the last 45, 60 days. So it's already been in place. It's not preventing anybody from buying a home, but it is going to bridge that gap. So those people that do have poorer credit, they're going to have more of an opportunity now to own a home because it'll be a little more affordable.
So is this permanent unless they change the bill?
Oh no.
So
right now it's going forward.
So okay, so let's just take a $300,000 house because that's kind of an average price point, right?
Right.
And so you take a $300,000 house and you've got a buyer with stellar credit.
It's going to cost them about $3,000 more.
And is that an upfront fee?
Yes. Yep, it's tied to their interest rate.
You guys, This doesn't seem fair, and we agree with that.
Yeah.
Just this is a side note. We're just bringing you the information.
It's what we have to deal with today. And I do understand, the fact that, not everybody has been able to own a home, right? But it does feel unfair if you're doing everything right. You've got the stellar credit, and now it's going to cost you more. I do understand that as well. But again, it's going to bridge that gap. There's going to be more people that are going to have the ability to own a home going forward.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I know it's hard.
This is a tough one to swallow for a lot of people, including myself.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. But it's what we're dealing with, and I still truly believe that home ownership is better than renting.
Right.
Everyone's circumstances is different.
Always.
But okay.
Yeah, and it really is. I mean, your wealth is built in your home ownership. Mm-hmm. That's proven. You build your wealth from home ownership, and if you decide to sit it out, yes, this is what it's going to happen going forward. Could it change down the road? Of course it could. I mean, we see it in real estate all the time. Things change left and right. And we just have to go with the flow and It is across the board. It's not just one lender or another lender. It is everybody across the board.
And it's not even just Minnesota. It's everywhere.
No, it's
correct?
everywhere.
It's a national
Everywhere. It's national. Federal.
Okay,
It's a
well,
federal thing.
we'll deal with it and we'll
Yeah,
get
we
through
will.
it and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will.
Right?
You'll still gain your wealth from home ownership.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, no, it's not.
It
We're just
is what it is.
we want to educate people because that's
Right.
been a big question in the last, because now it's all over the news.
It is all over the news.
And-
And a lot of people are telling it differently too, of
Mhm.
what it is, what it isn't. I saw some lender yesterday posting saying, oh, that's absolutely not true.
Oh,
Well, it is true.
Okay.
There is loan level price adjustments. That's what they're called. And they're based on risk, and obviously we know people with poorer credit are higher risk. And the cost for them to purchase a home has been so great, especially in the last year, because of their poorer credit. So they're just trying to offset that a little bit.
okay.
So,
And we're not talking people with horrible credit because they can't get a mortgage no matter what.
well, and the people
know,
with really bad credit
yeah,
can't get
they can't
right.
get a mortgage.
Right.
So it's
They cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still have to qualify. You
Right.
still have to have decent enough
Right.
credit. You
You
have
do.
to be in those ratios to
Right.
make that work.
Well,
But-
and the weird thing about the whole thing is that people with the really poor credit aren't even impacted by this because they would be in an FHA loan, and FHA loans are not part of Fannie and Freddie. That is a government loan that isn't even impacted by these new changes. So that is, kind of
so
funny
if you
too.
have they call it the first time home buyer loan, which that's
Right.
not true, but that's what people think, right?
Right.
So if you've got somebody doing an FHA mortgage, they're not charged this. Is that true?
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
well, see,
I mean,
I
they
didn't know
still.
that.
I mean, they still have price adjustments on their credit scores as well. But this particular law that was changed, this is for Fannie and Freddie, so it's
Okay.
not impacting them.
Well, thank you for clearing that up.
You're welcome.
Hopefully that'll answer some questions. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate it because it's
Absolutely.
always changing. So
It is. It really is. And that's why, again, you want to call us to find out what the real information is. Because, you don't want to make decisions, especially financial decisions, on misinformation.
Right.
And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a lot of people sitting in the sidelines, not buying houses because they're being told it's not a good time. And that's simply not true.
Right.
It's just not true. It is a good time to buy a house, and, we'll refinance you down the road and get you out of the current rate. And, you're already building wealth with your home.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yep.
thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you guys next week. But if you need, in the meantime, if you want to reach out, my direct line is 320-266-2126.
612-868-9339.
Have a great week.